back with another vlog. The last game before the season begins. It's going to be an exciting season suddenly. It's going to be an interesting season. A quite unpredictable season with Blues. Because you go back probably 15, 20 days just before we signed Crowley. You're looking at the squad and you're going, it's not a strong squad. It's not the kind of team that are going to be looking for anything other than a relegation battle. And very low in that relegation battle. And most likely relegation is what we were all talking about. We're bringing Crowley. We're bringing Clark-Salter on loan. We signed Sunji in midfield. So we've got two midfielders who are capable of passing a ball. Can't remember the last time we had one of those, let alone two of them in the same team. Kyle is pretty good at shooting from what we've seen. Clark-Salter's a decent defender who's got good tackling ability, likes to bring it out from the back, play the ball out. A bit like how England played at the last World Cup. The defence come pushing out, pressing the ball. So the squad is looking a lot better with just with three signings. We still look a bit thin up front, but there's rumours that we will be bringing in another forward. We don't know who the forward is, but there's rumours that we will bring in another forward, which would be huge for the club. With this, Spike's a little bit of hope. Spike's upper mid-table in my eyes. Probably mid to upper table. I think we'll be about where we were if we didn't get a points deduction last season. If we can sign another striker, we'll be there again. If we can sign a striker that's going to score you 12, 15 goals a season, you might push up slightly higher. We're going to miss Che, obviously. Che was a big part of last season, getting assists, getting goals. First Blues player since God knows when to get over 20 goals in a season. It was a brilliant season. Che deserves everything he's got moving up to the Premier League. He deserves it. Well done to him. Losing a few assists a season in Hotter. But you're gaining them in Crowley. You're gaining them in Sunji. You've got a better defence line. I personally prefer Harley Dean as a captain over Michael Morrison, but I think we will miss Michael Morrison. But I've always thought that Harley Dean would be the better captain to be chosen for the squad. So today we've got the final friendly, Brighton and Hove Albion at home. Typical. We've had a lovely summer, lovely heat, all of that fun stuff. First home game last home game before the season. It's a torrential downpour. It wouldn't be Blues otherwise. So today, obviously, Sunjit can't play due to international clearance, obviously being a very late signing before today's match. He should be paraded at half-time around the pitch, which would be cool. I'll try and get that on video for you guys if he comes out at half-time. He's supposed to be watching today and in the crowds with the fans. That'd be quite a nice thing, just to have the player want to be with the fans. And it'll be great to see. I personally think today, last time we were Bristol Rovers, I predicted 3-1 to Blues. We won 2-1. We could have scored a couple more. So it was an open game. I'm going to go for today 3-1 again. 3-1. 3-1 Blues. It's a decent squad that we've got going out there today. We've pretty much got a full fit squad other than Cater and Grounds, who are injured. and O'Keefe hasn't been selected for the squad, but also I think the under-23s may have a game today. Or might be playing right now. I'm not sure. The Blues put up that they had a game at 12 o'clock on a Saturday. I don't know if they mean this Saturday or next Saturday. Who knows? But some of them will be playing in that game. So good luck to them. Hopefully we get a great game. It's a decent atmosphere. And let's go back to St Andrews.
Substitution for Birmingham City, replacing number 14, Jake Clark-Salter. Number 16, Steve Seddon.
Pedersen will go, won't he?
Number 19, Jack Magoma. Replacing number 7, Dan Crowley. Number 31, Charlie Lakin. Shane Duffy.
Same as the third goal. Over there, and 4-0.
Looking forward to welcoming you back to St Andrews Trophy Stadium, buddies.
So, I've just got back from the 4-0 defeat against Brighton and Hove Albion in the final friendly before the season. I went into it confident of 3-1. That performance did not show the same performance they've been showing in the other pre-season friendlies. Obviously, the other teams that we've been playing aren't as good as Brighton. And credit where credit is due, Brighton took their chances when they got them. I'm going to go through the goals and my thoughts on the players and different things like that in a minute. But Brighton took their chances when we made our mistakes and they scored them. You can't discredit them. They put the ball in the back of the net when they were given chances. They missed a couple. We hit the bar. We hit the crossbar. They hit the post. Made good saves from Duke. A couple of good saves from Duke. And we played all right. Throughout the first half, I thought we were a good team. We showed our class. We showed that we were a team that could be kind of reckoned with. Crowley, I thought, was having a magnificent game in the first half. He was showing his talent on the ball, his control. He's playing the ball through to other players and trying to show those balls. And you can see he's got it a lot more up here than all the other players. So he's 2 steps ahead while the others are 5 steps behind. So he's thinking, oh, I can play this ball, which can then go to this ball. While that player's still daydreaming back there about a pass they did 5 minutes ago, like David Davis. So, there we go. So now onto the goals. Let's talk about the goals. First goal. We all know what's coming. Salter Clark, dreadful mistake. Well, Clark Salter, whatever his name is, made a dreadful mistake. The ball came straight to him. He let it go straight through him. Hit his heel, went through, goal. You can't do things like that against Premier Division sides. You can't give them chances, let alone chances like that. First goal, you can't blame Stockdale. It's going to be a recurring theme, by the way, the can't blame Stockdale thing. For all 4 goals, really. The second goal, actually, you can blame Stockdale for, partly. His kick out was not very good at all. And it kind of came down and the player controlled it over, did his over a kick thing, turned around, came through, pushed through, passed the ball across, and I think, I can't remember his name, I think it begins with an L. He turned on it and scored. And it was 2-0, and it was 2 mistakes. Other than those 2 mistakes, Brighton did not look dangerous. They did not look like a side who were going to close us down, beat us and score loads of goals. Then there was another mistake by Gardner. He played the ball back towards the goalkeeper for no reason at all. Didn't need to. Pathetic ball. Went straight through towards Stockdale and he ended up making a save. And it didn't go in this time. So Stockdale had made the save for that one. For the third and fourth goal were carbon copies. Free kicks that shouldn't have been given away. Third goal, free kick that I didn't really think was a free kick, but it was given. They put it onto the back post where Gary Gardner was marking his man. And the player headed it, saved by Stockdale, and they ended up putting the ball in the back of the net off the rebound after Stockdale saved it. This was a good save by Stockdale, but the defence needed to be there to mark the player. I'm not sure who was marking them on either of... I know that Gardner was marking them, but he just didn't look right there. And then the fourth one was a 90th minute goal. Free kick, straight over the top, headed straight over the top of Stockdale into the top corner. It's not really much he could have done there. Possibly could have come off the line, but coming off the line, it was quite far out. It was just lobbed over the top. It was kind of like a Juki header from last season. So that was an issue. So now I'm going to go through the team and say my thoughts and pieces on each player. I'm also possibly going to do a separate video, or try to do a separate video, with my thoughts of the squad and different things like that. And what we could do with still signing and changing. So in goal, Stockdale, I thought he had an equivalent of a 6 out of 10. We'll give him more ratings as well. So Stockdale, I'd give a 6 out of 10. He made a couple of good saves, but made a couple of mistakes. Didn't do anything outstanding, but didn't do anything ridiculously shocking other than the one kick. So I'd say he gets a 6. 3 centre-halves were... What's gone out of my head now? Roberts, I'd give a 7 to Roberts. I think he played quite well. He showed his talent within that position. He looked a lot more comfortable in that 3 than he did in a 2 before. He looked like he was going to make more mistakes in the 2. He looked a lot less likely to make a mistake. I thought he had quite a good game. Although I think he should be played in the middle instead of Harley Dean. Harley Dean may be the captain, but he did not look right in that middle. The ball just kept coming over the top, and when they crossed it, Harley was the one to try and win the ball. Now, when Roberts had the ball up in the air, it was being stopped. They didn't get it past him. But when it went to Harley, he wasn't winning it up in the air. I'd give Harley a 6 out of 10. On to Clark Salter. I'd give him a 5. And I'd say he's lucky to get a 5. He made a couple of mistakes. He didn't tackle for the second goal. The first goal was very bad. He looked incredibly nervous. He looked panicked by being his first match, and mistakes were made. Right back, Colin didn't really show anything. I'd give him a 5. Didn't do a lot. Left back was Pedersen. He also played centre back. I'd give Pedersen a 6. I think he was all right, but he didn't do enough tracking back. He didn't show enough for that team. When he went to centre back, he looked a lot better. And when Seddon came off the bench, I thought Seddon played that left back role a lot better than Pedersen was. And Pedersen looked a lot better at centre back than Clark Salter. Into midfield. into midfield. Now, here comes the fun ones. We have Gary Gardner. 4 out of 10. He was dreadful. He was diabolical. He did not show anything that made me think, yes, we've signed a great player. You know, you think, same player we had last year on loan, but worse. Less talent, less show, less want. Gardner, no. Sunjic will probably come in for him. And there's Davis, I'd give a 5 to. He was slightly better than Gardner, but not that much better than Gardner. He was giving the ball away, not doing great passing. So it could also be him that Sunjic comes in for. Who knows? The attacking midfielder. Crowley. I think Crowley had a very good match, as I said earlier. I would give Crowley a 8 out of 10. I would give him man of the match again. I gave him a man of the match in previous match. Online, on Twitter. So check out my Twitter. It's below. If you guys want to keep up with my Twitter and what I'm doing and different things and things I've got to say. Sometimes I tweet out during the match. I did today. At half-time, I tweeted out my thoughts of what was going wrong, what was going right, who could do this, who should be brought on, who shouldn't be brought on. So I tweeted out my thoughts and different things. Yeah, so follow my Twitter. Plug my Twitter down below. Possibly, hopefully. But if it isn't, at Lad from the Blues. Check it out, guys. Crowley, I would say definitely man of the match, 8 out of 10. He showed some really good touches, some really good passing, some really good control of the ball, some really good sight and knowing something's going to happen. So I'll play it in front of him and he'll run onto it. He'll cross the ball in. He looked really good. Up front, we had Duke, who played really well considering he was quite clearly playing his role and Che's role from last year. I don't think he's going to be capable of that. I've said it before, he's not Che. He never will be Che. He hasn't got the pace of Che or the clinical finishing of Che. He's great at knocking it down. He's great at heading it at the goal. He has some decent shots. He had one that came off the crossbar today, one that went just wide, 2 that were saved by the goalkeeper in the bottom corner, one that was saved just over the crossbar. Duke played really well, and having to play that role as well, I think he did magnificent. I would give Dukey a 7 out of 10. He could have done with a goal to boost his confidence for the season. He didn't get that goal. But hey, hopefully that performance will boost his confidence for the season. Other player, Umrabti. Now, I had somebody comment on the last video that they thought Umrabti was class. And I said my thoughts back. I said that I didn't think Umrabti was being played in the right position. I didn't think he showed his full potential. And he was more of a Fabrini of a player, a luxury player, a luxury item. Something that you don't need, but it's nice to have when you're playing really well. Umrabti up front, no. No. Should never happen again. He was dreadful up front. He missed so many times he missed controlling the ball. He hardly ran down the wing anymore. He plays behind, he plays where Crowley is, and he should be back up to Crowley. This shows to me that we need a striker more than ever. Because if he's our best, I was a bit worried that Vassell didn't come on. This was something that I was thinking over. I thought he probably should have come on, but I'd give Umrabti a 5 out of 10. Now on to, we had 2 other subs. We had Lakin came on and Magoma. That's all I can remember. There may have been somebody else. We've already spoken about 7. Lakin didn't have much time on the pitch, showed a few decent touches, had a decent shot that was stopped by a defender. I'd give him a 6. He didn't have enough time to show. He didn't have enough time to show his potential. But 6, I think he was quite good. Magoma didn't shine in that position. He'd also get a 6. Didn't do much. I'd have preferred to see him up front than put Crowley up front when that sub happened. I think it was something that could have been interesting to see how he'd do that role, because he's quite good at cutting in and doing those shots and running onto the ball from Juki's headers down. But they played him behind, and Crowley kind of got fed up of playing up front by the look of it, and just kept shaking his head and not being very happy with it. So he just moved behind Duke and then suddenly started playing well again, and then he got brought off. But yeah, that was my thoughts on the team that played today. I think that we certainly, what we could do with, I'd be quite happy if we signed another striker. That team would be a lot better. And I'd also like to see another midfielder. Today, rumoured at the match was the Real Madrid goalkeeper. I can't remember what his name was, but Real Madrid Castilla goalkeeper. Castillo, I don't know how to pronounce him. The second team's goalkeeper was at the game, sat at the back of the director's box. If I've put the picture in, you guys might see it. I don't know. He was there, and we've been rumoured with two other players, a winger and a striker since. And we're also linked with that Puskas, who's a striker. If we can bring in that Puskas, bring in the goalkeeper on loan, and bring in another striker, I would be quite happy with the team. I think we would be playing better than we have been, and that team would be a lot more class. What it's missing mainly is someone who can defend from the midfield, which hopefully Sunjic is that player. Hopefully he may make Gardner or Davis play better than they have been, but who knows. I'd say 2 more signings would be nice. 3 would be luxurious. If we can get that keeper on loan, Puskas and that other winger, it'd be lovely. If we don't, we need just a striker at least. But that would change our team's morale and everything massively. Getting a striker who's going to score you 10 to 15 goals this season could jump us up 5-10 places in my eyes. That is how much we are missing that striker. At the current moment, I would predict us to be a 16th mid-table. With a striker, probably a 12th, between 6th and 12th. Thanks for watching. I won't be at the next game, but I'll be recording my thoughts and video of it. Thanks for watching, guys. Keep right on.